we meet Sagittarius, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Sagittarius starting today, the 23rd of May, 2023. We are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Delene. Moderating on Twitch is the lovely Shirley. If you happen to be watching this on a restream on YouTube, you know you can fast forward through all the shuffling that's just about ready to happen by looking at those timestamps in the video description. Today, I'm reading with this beautiful Salvador Dali deck, but the box is too big to get in the shot, so there it is. And I've already purified with this beautiful Spanish traditional eau de cologne by Alvarez Gomez. You can find out information about each of those products and how to purchase them in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. Like I said, this is a 2-week reading for all you Sagittarius, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. Whether you're watching with me live or whether you're watching on a restream, it's all for you. It does go out to a lot of Sagittarius by the end of the day, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to click with you, it may not be your reading. In that case, just disregard it and check out one of the other zodiacal readings for your other signs. Or remember that we have a general reading for all signs each and every day except for Monday. You can find the replays for the most recent of those readings very easily on my website at ariels-corner.com. Ariel's Corner with the hyphen.com. I don't read with card reversals, and I just like to mention that because it's a little unusual for some of you to see. It's just the way I prefer to read it, and so you'll see me flipping cards right side up. I've been doing it that way probably for the past, 20 years or so. I started out with reversals. I did reversals probably for a good 10 years or so. Maybe it's been longer. Wow. I'm a lot older than I sound. Anyway, I don't like them, so I don't use them. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. You can find all kinds of beautiful merchandise, including the tarot decks that I read with that are still in print. That's an affiliate store, which means we make a small commission off of each and every sale. We do appreciate your support, but Sagittarius, what we appreciate most of all, that's the word there, is that you're here with us today. Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to just shuffle one more little shuffle here. Give this a nice clean cut and see what's in the cards for the next couple weeks for all you gorgeous, amazing, fabulous, and wonderful Sagittarius. Ba-dum-bum, we've got the star. Well, we already knew you're a star. See, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wands. That's a nice 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of coins. You're doing great. This is good. Really, really nice. So all of that forgiveness that many of you have been dealing with and all of that grace, many of you have been forgiven. Many of you have forgiven. Many of you have done both. And realizing that your mistakes do not have any power over you, nor does your past, and that other people's mistakes don't have to have power over them either. And so that grace of that divine star goddess is something that's very profound and can literally heal anything, no matter what it is. And many of you are recognizing this, or at least are ready to recognize this. I do have a meditation based on the star card. If you have time, you may want to listen to it to really optimize this energy since it's so prominent in your reading here. It's called Receiving the Divine Grace of the Star Goddess, and you can find that on my website, ariels-corner.com, and also on my YouTube channel. So this 5 of wands right after the star it's very common. It's, anger isn't always bad. I know a lot of times we look at anger as a real negative emotion, and most often it is. I mean, angry people can really be bad, have bad behavior, but sometimes anger isn't bad. Sometimes it's just the releasing of an old thought pattern, the releasing of old stuck energy. Sometimes it's conflict that is competitive in nature and that brings discourse and brings understanding. Sometimes when we have arguments with people, we actually come to understand each other better, and then we're better for it. So even though sometimes going through conflict can be not as comfortable as we want it in confrontation and things like that. When it's the 5 of Wands instead of the other 5s, it's always for a higher reason. Sometimes anger just motivates us. If you've been abused or something like that, and you've been feeling victimized your whole life, and then one day you finally look at it, it's like, why am I being a victim? F them. I didn't do anything. They did it to me. That's a positive step out of depression and into healing. So we don't want to just, if we're feeling anger or irritability, we don't want to just automatically discount it and say, oh no, calm down, peace. Sometimes we need to just honor that and let it do its thing. And a lot of times if we're feeling stuck in that frustration or stuck in that irritability, it just means that we need to get active with our physical bodies. We need to run, we need to walk, we need to work out, we need to dance, scream into a pillow, get our parked car in a place where it's not going to be heard by anybody, close up the windows and scream and yell, right? Just scream and yell your favorite 4-letter words. It's all good. The bottom line lesson of the 5 of Wands is that you can honor any of your anger without being toxic about it. It doesn't need to be toxic. You can anger is never an end in itself. It's never the goal, but it can be a very powerful transition from one thing to something better. So we want to honor when we're feeling those irritabilities and those angers and recognize it's just the fire of our soul, that fury in our soul that has taken us into a much better place. And that much better place is this 7 of coins, which is a complete turnaround in many of your financial situation or your health situation, something very physical and tangible. So there's a turnaround in something financial or in your health, or maybe both for some of you. And that turnaround is also a beautification. It's also a beautification. So when you're upset about something, it's this beauty that was being blocked by you or that was being suppressed by you now being allowed to come into manifestation. So it's worth going through that little bit of struggle to let go of the whatever the suppression was. That conflict that many of you are experiencing is just a way to break free all that beauty that you haven't been able to or willing to or felt safe in expressing and displaying. Now that beauty wants to just completely turn around. This in the Hermetic Tree of Life, number 7 is called victory. Beauty is victorious. We think of victorious as fighting and all of that. No, that's not usually the ultimate victory. The ultimate victory is beauty. The ultimate victory is just think about the grass or the flowers coming up through the concrete. It's just like you're not going to keep it down. You're not going to keep the beauty down. And that's exactly what's going on with you. Your beauty knows no bounds. And you are very, very beautiful. Yes, you, Sag. Your beauty is something that we in the world crave. So we are glad that you are doing what it takes to display the beauty that is who you are. Page of Swords. What is this one? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 of Cups. Nice. Knight of Swords. Okay. So these two guys here are in cahoots. That's part of our self-destructive patterns. Okay. And I'm not worried about them so much because you've come through too much, Sag, for me to be really worried that you're going to fall back into old patterns so much. But it's good to know that the way that you can see through the lies of this world is through this grace of the star goddess. That is the forgiveness, forgiving yourself from your past. Forgiving yourself. What mistakes have you made that you haven't forgiven yourself for? To the degree that you are allowing yourself to still feel guilty and bad about things that you've done in the past is the degree to which you are vulnerable to the lies of this world. But as you continue to give yourself and allow yourself to have grace, calling on that star goddess energy to undo all of the consequences of your past mistakes and completely and utterly show you who you are as an innocent child of the universe, no matter what you think you've done. When you do that, you are no longer vulnerable to lies, no longer vulnerable to misinformation, no longer vulnerable to the untruths of this world. Now, this Knight of Swords is the tendency to be tempted into conflict, to be tempted into problems. And that always shows up. It especially shows up when things are going well, because that's just how self-destruction works. You know, if self-destruction was created by people that aren't brilliant like humans are, see, our egos are our own brilliance and creativity and genius minds used against ourselves. So if we were stupid when we created self-destructive thought forms, they would come up when we were ready for them. But when they want to come up is when things are looking up for us. So just notice that. Notice when you're getting hooked in the midst of something good. That's just normal. We all go through that. And you can easily say thanks but no thanks just by remembering who you are and why you're here. So this 7 is the beauty, and this 10 is that happy ever after, that happy outcome. The happy outcome is on the other side of this conflict that we were talking about, this inner conflict that's not something that is negative so much. It's like I said, it's just that breaking free. So when you're noticing some irritability, anger, whatever, just notice that where it's taking you when you break through that is a happy outcome. And that happy outcome, I always like to remind people, the 10, if you add the 1 and the 0 together, it becomes a 1. So that happy outcome, make sure that you recognize, is just the beginning. And it's here to be perpetual if you stay in the present moment. That's what ever after means, is in the present moment. And if you are in the present moment, in that happily ever after, you can't be fooled. You can't be fooled by your own desire to destroy yourself. And our own desire to destroy ourselves, you know what that's like. It's like you've got that last, 3 pounds that you want to lose, and it's just like, oh, I feel like some ice cream. It's not that the ice cream is bad. It's not that you can't have the ice cream, but that's the whole idea. It's just like, okay, but no, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to at least have the ice cream later after I've lost the 3 pounds, right? So whatever it is that your goals are, that your objectives are, where you're headed, all of the things that make you happy, when you notice these things being presented by your mind or being attracted to things in the world that are going to take you off the track, just recognize them for what they are. You don't need to make a big deal out of it, and just get back into recognizing that beauty is the bottom line for you. You are beautiful the way you are. I mean, you don't need to change anything about it. You don't need a facelift. You don't need a new hairdo. You can get those things if they make you feel good, but you don't need anything to make you beautiful. You're stunning. And it's not because your body is a certain way. It's because your soul shines through your body in such a way that people are taken aback by you and your beauty. And that's what you don't want to cover. You don't want to shrink back. You want to allow that beauty to break through, because that's what is propelling you into all of the success that we see here, all of this happily ever after. And when you do that, you're not as vulnerable to your own desires to destroy yourself, because you are having too much fun shining your beauty, being the fabulous Sag that you are, and that we all crave and that we all need. So you're ready to have a great couple weeks, and I will be back in 2 more weeks with another reading for you. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Delene and Shirley, and we will see you in 2 weeks, Sagittarius. Until then, blessed be.